Welcome to the Wine and Wellness Week. This is the March Madness 2015 edition. And my name is Jamie Dorley. Welcome to coming. Has anyone been here before? Okay, welcome back. We appreciate you guys coming. I'll give it to you. Hold on.
I got my stuff ready.
Okay. You sitting down or you?
Yeah, I'm going to sit
Okay,
down.
good. So if you've been here before, welcome back. And if you folks who have not been here, welcome to the Wine and Wellness Week. We do these events 5 times a year. I'll give you a little review of what we do during the week. And hopefully you can come back again and bring some friends and family. And here he is, the international icon, Dr. Weiner.
Okay, listen, we have this lady.
Okay, speak up so they can hear you.
Here. She had, come on up.
Come on up, come on down. Next contestant.
Yeah, maybe you can use this and you can interview her. Or I can interview her here. Want to get this on the radio, I mean on the thing here. Okay, so here, face there. Okay, so what's your name?
Vicki Moeller.
Vicki Moeller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you called me on the radio how long ago?
Oh, about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. And what was your problem?
I was having a fullness, like whenever I ate something, I would get such discomfort. That's way too close. Such discomfort that I would swell, literally swell.
And why was that?
I have no idea.
You told me you had the gallbladder removed.
I did, but I went to the
Did you have
doc.
the gallbladder removed because you had the swelling?
Yeah, they said it had to be removed or it would get messy. And I said, define messy. And he said, well, basically you could explode.
But after the surgery, you were no better.
No better at all.
You were no better after the
No.
surgery.
None.
Okay, and then what did I tell you to do?
I called in, and he told me to take Bedazyme for 3 days. Just invest 3 days. So I came here, and I got the Bedazyme. 3 days, symptoms gone. Seriously.
Okay, so what you needed was not your gallbladder removed, you needed digestive enzymes.
Right.
And we recommend the Betazyme because now that you had your gallbladder removed, you needed the ox bile in there to help you digest fats, and you're doing fine now.
Right, with the proper diet and remembering to take the Bedazyme before I eat, no problem.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Yeah, Betazyme, B-E-T-A-Z-Y-M-E, B-E-T-A-Z-Y-M-E.
Thanks, Dr. Weiner. We appreciate it. So, folks, that's the whole idea, is to get you healthy and then to keep you healthy, right? And if you have a health challenge like she did, where she'd get really bloated after she ate, and then the medical doctor decided to remove the gallbladder thinking that would help her, I'm sure it's in the best interest of her, right? They think they're helping. However, we find that medicine is very successful with trauma and chronic accident or injuries, right? So if you have a health crisis right now, you have a heart attack, you have a stroke, you're involved in an accident, yeah, medical intervention can be a miracle worker. But for chronic conditions like I'm bloated after I eat, they don't do very well. Why? Because their tools are usually drugs or surgery, and that's not going to help you if you're bloated. Removing the gallbladder didn't help either, right? It may have made it worse. So we always recommend you follow the course of action, right? So if you have trauma or illness or acute injury, you go to the hospital. If you're not feeling good, you can come here. So if you have a health challenge like that, you can call us, you can come to the Wellness Week, or you may need to make an appointment with any of the healthcare professionals here. Has anyone been a patient here before? Okay. So you came back, so that tells us you must have got good results. How many times, just take a look to your right, do you walk into a doctor's office and see this many people? Not very often, right? So we must be doing something right to help people.
Dermatologist, that's the exception.
You see 100 people in a dermatology office? Wow. So you get the idea, right? So if you have a health challenge, make an appointment. If you don't, or if you've been through the program before, all you need now to do is to come to the Wellness Weeks. You get free healthy food, free literature. You get your hand out, hold that up. Free literature. We have 35 workshops this week. Candace is doing free demos today with the microcurrent. Very generous for her to do that, so we appreciate it. That tests all the body systems, and it does frequency testing, which is energy medicine, which is the future now. You're all going to look back and say, oh, I used to go to Wellness Week and they did energy testing. So it is the future here now. It's cutting edge technology used a lot in Europe. And we've been one of the first ones to bring this in a device that you can actually buy and bring home and make it affordable for you for your house. So if you're interested, you can meet with Candace and get some testing done. So you get free healthy food, free testing, you get free workshops, free literature, samples, demos, we have free smoothies. Pretty good deal, right? And if you want to buy anything, it's on deep discounts. So the whole idea is you'll buy enough to last the next Wellness Week, and then we'll see you at the next one. So all you need to do is what? You need to come and support us and bring somebody with you that you can feel would benefit. Now the great thing about what we do is it applies to everyone, right? Young, old, rich, poor, black, white, doesn't matter where you're from or what you do, everyone has a body. So what we're talking about right now is one of the great things we've all know, right, about juicing. Do we all agree juicing's healthy? Okay, great, right? So juicing is very healthy. Do we juice every day? I don't. Who juices every day? You buy the food, you get the juice machine out, and you juice every single day? You do? Okay. Your head's bobbing, but your eyes are telling me no. Okay. So you're 1 out of 2, right? Maybe. Maybe 2 out of 20. So we're 10% of people may do it every day. And why don't the rest of us do it? Because we're lazy? Because of life, right? Because you got to buy the food. You got to have a good juicer. Then have you ever made the juice? I'm not sure if it tastes good. And then you finally get done. You get this much juice. Then you got to go clean the machine up, right? And then what happens? You go out of town for a couple of days for work or for a wedding or for a reunion or a concert or whatever you're into. And you come home, what happens to all the food you bought? It goes spoiled. So that one juice costs us about 80 bucks, right? We've all been there or been scared to go there, right? So Dr. Weiner and our team created some very inexpensive ways that you can still enjoy juicing without some of the inconvenience of it. And if you want to juice at times, go for it. But you may or may not do it, or if you go to a restaurant that has healthy juicing, you can do that. So we're going to talk about the ProColors. Has anyone used the colors? Yeah, a few people. Has everyone tried them? We have free samples right in the juice machine. It looks like Orange Julius out in the store. And how do they taste? Surprisingly good. Even for me, the green still shocks me that it tastes good for greens. Not Dairy Queen, it's greens, right? Yeah, it's not quite Dairy Queen. But comparing it to other greens, tastes really well. It's apple with a little cinnamon kicker. The Creature of the Black Lagoon color of it may scare you away, but once you get past that, it's not so bad, right? It's like a dark green color. But if you add it to vanilla protein, it makes a nice smoothie. If you do it by itself with some water and some ice, make it really cold, it's a nice drink to take. And it's very convenient, and it's about 20% cost of what you would pay to juice. A little bit less than 20%. So what the colors are all natural fruit and veggie powders that are dehydrated. And then what we do is we add specific nutrients to them to make them better. Because even though you juice, there's some food nutrients. If you guys have a question, you can ask everyone. If not, okay? Just so they can hear with the cameras, thanks. So if you look at the juicing, you may not be able to buy all these ingredients in the grocery store. Do you put prebiotics in your shake?
Just a protein shake,
No. Do you put probiotics in the shake?
Sometimes I put prebiotics.
Yeah, but pre and probiotics, no. Do you put spirulina or chlorella in the shake? No, because these are hard to find at the grocery store. If you did find them, they'd be quite expensive. Okay? So these are fruits and veggies, plus we fortify them. Okay? They're dairy-free, gluten-free, and vegetarian. And they don't contain any herbicides or pesticides. Okay? And they're great for kids, adults. I like to put the oranges in my pre-workout drink. I also know, like, my daughter was just taking her license recently, so we're going out driving every now and then. And yeah, you're nervous enough not to want to eat, but so I put a couple scoops in oranges because we may be gone for a while. You know, if you're going to work in the yard this time of year, I like to start getting the yard cleaned up a little bit. You know, you can take a scoop or two before you go out in the yard, and it's going to give you a little more energy and nutrients than water would without some of the, I got to wait to eat, I don't want to eat now, I don't want to eat too much food now, but I want something to keep me going a little bit, and I'm trying to get off Red Bulls or Diet Cokes or Starbucks or whatever you're drinking, right? So it's a good transition off some of those stimulant drinks because we generally live on stimulants in our country, right? America's drug of choice is what? Sugar, caffeine, nicotine. They're the most addicting things in our culture, and you can buy them anywhere, and they're legal, right? So very addicting, and you need something to transition off of. Plus, the kids nowadays, you know, they're drinking a lot of juice or Gatorades, all these different drinks, right, that are really just soda without the carbonation. That's what they are, right? It's 40 grams of sugar. It's fruit without the fiber, and these all contain fiber. We've even had some people use the Reds. It's important you can take it. No? Okay. So we've had some people take these fruit and veggie powders, make it into a drink, fill up the ice cube tray, and then if the kids are a little more picky, start with putting a couple ice cubes in their water or their juice. You can also freeze them and make like a frozen bar. Those frozen fruit bars taste pretty good. The problem is too much, as we're talking about, emphasis on sugar, other refined carbs. We find when people do the ProColors, we've had a guy that came in, he lost like 16 pounds. The only thing he did differently, he started using purples. Because the problem is with the standard American diet is you usually don't feel very full when you eat it, do you? And you gotta eat so much of it, by that point you're so bloated, right? But don't confuse being bloated with feeling full. There's a difference. Most Americans do not get 5 servings of fruits and veggies a day. A lot of Americans get 0. The average gets 20% of what they need in, 20%. And they release the final parts of the studies on fruits and veggies. And how many servings do you need a day? Yeah, female 7 to 9, male is up to 13. Why did they release that earlier? Because they said there's no way people are going to eat that much. So 5 is a round number. It sounds easy enough to achieve. And it's servings, not pieces. You know, a piece, an apple may be 2 servings or a serving and a half, right? A salad may be 2 or 3 servings. But it's really simple. Do you eat any vegetables? Do you eat a salad every day? You should have at least 1 salad, veggies at least lunch and dinner, and 1 or 2 pieces of fruit. Don't make it any more complicated than that. If you have issues with weight or blood sugar, cut the fruit back and maybe do berries, right? Berries would be a better choice. They're a little bit easier on the blood sugar, or maybe like cantaloupe, you know, things like that. Melons, they may have a little too much. So it depends on the person. For you, you can eat either one. How do we know if it's, we said this, you know, at the last workshop, there is no junk food, right? It's either junk or food. How do you know the difference? If you leave it out at room temperature, the food will go spoiled or rot at some time, right? At some point, that food will go bad. How long does that take? A few days, right? But if you leave the Twinkie out, even outside of the wrapper, it may be fresh for a month, right? Probably remember if you went to college, you walk by and there's something sitting there to eat, and you grab it, and you don't know how long it's been there. But if it's product, it generally doesn't go bad, but this contributes to a lot of the health issues. We found now, recent research released, almost 20%, right? Almost 20% of all premature deaths are directly linked to obesity. They had said it was 5%. It's 20%. I think it's higher. So it's a perfect storm, right? You combine suburbs and everyone driving. When I was born, I'm only in my 40s, we had 1 car. So when my dad worked, we didn't have a car. But we didn't need to go anywhere because I lived in the city and we could walk. Grocery store, bakery, wherever you needed to go was in walking distance. So between the suburbs, people living further away, more reliance on cars, and then you compound that with more of a sedentary lifestyle and a processed diet, right? It's a perfect storm. That's what's going on. So the nice thing with the ProColors is even if you eat fruits and veggies, how many foods can you eat? I'm not talking about products. There's about 400 different foods we have access to in our country. Write down what you eat for 2 weeks, maybe even a week. Some people a day, because you eat the same things, right? Veggies, maybe eat broccoli, carrots, green beans, right? Peas. But there's so many other veggies you can eat. So you need more variety in your diet. And some of these foods are hard to get. Either we don't get them around here, they're out of season. You get them and you can tell that they've been processed somewhere because they don't have any taste, right? So you got to buy what's in season. That's why I like the farmers markets, because you get to select locally grown fresh food. The nice thing with the ProColors, it gives you a lot of variety. Things you may not ever have access to. You know, the purples, purple carrots, purple cabbage. Those aren't foods you normally eat. Kumquat and the oranges, right? Chlorella, spirulina in the greens. And the reds even have things like milk thistle in it for your liver, lutein and lycopene for your eyes. So these are things you normally can't get. Plus, when you factor them in, you get more support. And that's what we're trying to do, is give you food-based nutrition. This goes on the grocery diet, should not go on the supplement diet. He's a good liar, isn't he? So, Pro Reds, anyone done this before? See this? Yeah. See, this is the original one we got in. This has great support for all these different things, because these are all nutrient-dependent processes. They require fuel in your body, right? So if you have fatigue, poor vision, I mentioned lutein, lycopene, bilberry, all in the reds. And not sprinkles. 5 milligrams of lutein is pretty good. You get that in the reds. So when you start building your program together, other than the Super Shaker Best Way, ProColors, and then essential fats, right? Those are food-based nutrients you need as a foundation of your diet. Had a person yesterday, she just started doing Super Shake for breakfast, and that's it. And she's down 12 pounds in about 7 to 8 weeks. That's all she's done. Most people can lose 5 to 10 pounds. Not everybody, but most people could. And the way you do that is you give your body the nutrition that it can run and function right. And when your metabolism is rolling, then you're going to burn more, you will not store, and you will not crave. Doesn't that sound like a good idea? Yeah, most people report back when they're on our program, wow, I got energy in a few days. By day 4 or 5, I wasn't craving Starbucks. I didn't have to go run out to get sugar or caffeine in the morning. I felt great. So that's where you need to get to. Get your metabolism boosted with the right nutrients, and this is a good start, would be the reds. You get 5 servings of fruits and veggies per scoop. How many you need a day? At least 5, right? Maybe more. So if you do 1 scoop of reds every day, you accomplish your goal for the day for fruits and veggies. Does that mean we're not going to eat fruits and veggies? No. It just means we got the minimal amount we need in every day to have our body function, right? Everyone have a car here? What do you need to support your car to make it run right? Gas, oil, spark plugs, battery, water, antifreeze, right? Your car needs certain things. We know that. Would we ever try and run the car without antifreeze or water in the radiator? I tried it once. What happened?
You burned up the car.
What?
You burned your car up.
The engine will seize up, yes. Not a good idea. Well, what happens if you don't run your body with enough fluids? Same thing. And there may be in between running at 100%, right, and burning up the body. That's what most people don't realize. Oh, you know, I don't have too many symptoms. By the time you have a symptom, the body's been deficient for a long period of time. So, anyone know what ORAC means? Oxygen radical absorbance capacity. That just means how much debris can something clean up, like Pac-Man, right? So antioxidants, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium, You guys have heard of these things before, right? Antioxidants. They clean up damaged debris in the body. And how well they do that has an ORAC value to it. You need about 5,000 ORAC units per day. The average American gets 1,200. So if I get my 5,000 and this half of the room does, and that half doesn't, right? There's a lot of other people out there not getting that amount in because we're only averaging 1,200. So it also tastes great, which is a nice bonus. So here's all the support we have. Liver, I mentioned milk thistle, brain, phosphatidylserine, choline, all the L-carnitine and inositol. Heart, resveratrol, you heard of that before, right? Lycopene, lutein, DMG. Immune, and the eye. And the eye actually has therapeutic levels of lycopene and lutein. Dr. Weiner's eyes have improved in the last 5 years. Yeah, very rarely will that happen to somebody in their 60s. So next is the greens. I think we all know greens will help clean the body up, detoxify, cleanse, energize. Does that mean the reds, oranges, and purples don't do that? No, it just means the greens is more specific. You couldn't go wrong with any of these, but you need to do at least one based on what your goal is. And if you don't eat greens, I'll do these once in a while because I eat a lot of greens. But if I'm traveling or something's going on with the schedule for whatever reason and I'm not getting a lot of greens in, I'll do that as I need it. This supports your detox steps. And detox is not something you turn on and turn off. It's something that occurs 24/7, 365. And for some people, you're exposed to more toxins than you can get out. And what happens then? Toxins build up, right? And some people may be getting rid of toxins too quickly, and you make you sick. So the greens is designed to help give you the nutrients you need to support this process, right? And where do most of our toxins come in? Things we voluntarily put in our mouth. Alcohol, fast food, medication, recreational, right? Cigarettes, all the different things we voluntarily put in our body far outweigh things that we're exposed to by accident. Nice thing we mentioned before, things you will not find when you go to the grocery store, spirulina and chlorella. Those are the superfoods. You ever hear of superfood? Who created that word superfood? Because now you see it everywhere, right? It's not true. It actually has a meaning. It was created by NASA when they're trying to find the most nutrient-dense foods to give to the astronauts. Because I'm not a rocket scientist. Don't you hear people say that, right? But I'm not. But I would guess if you're going in a limited space ship, right, you would want to limit your cargo as much as possible and have the most nutrient-dense food. So they created the word superfoods. And I think it's great tasting apple with a little cinnamon kicker as a flavoring. Supports detox we talked about. So the oranges, this is my favorite because it helps me with blood sugar, trying to keep the weight under control, the cravings, and the mental and physical energy. So that's the great thing about the oranges. It has a brain blend in it. So it gives your brain a non-caffeinated pop to neurotransmitters. Those are the chemicals and messengers in your brain. So that means more focus, more mental endurance, more attention, more production. But it also gives you some physical benefit too because it has green coffee bean and that helps balance blood sugar. If blood sugar is balanced, you don't get too high or too low, right? That's our whole program is to balance blood sugar. You may have some chemical imbalances in your brain with either neurotransmitters or things like dopamine, serotonin, right? You've heard that before? Yeah, you do have the chemical imbalance. But if your diet is, tobacco and coffee and sodas and fast food, that's why you're out of balance. So you may need some nutrients to help you get through some of those challenges. My favorite thing about it is it helps balance blood sugar. If that runs in your family, or if you have challenges with blood sugar, with weight, with energy, with cravings, and you know what I'm finding more and more now? The cravings aren't just for food anymore. It can be for food, it can be for junk food, right? Like, hey, I need my Doritos. You ever hear people say that? Like they own them. You know, don't take away my Mountain Dew. You hear that, don't you? You may even say that. I'm dying for my Starbucks or whatever. Yeah, right? It's funny because it's true. Those foods are addicting. You know, people make big, big money to be flavoring experts because they could put some type of flavoring on those chips or in that coffee or in that juice to make it addicting. Guess what? They got you now. Yeah. It should be a drug, and you'd be told that, right? Because it's more addicting than the drugs are. Plus, where can you buy them? Everywhere. They're not illegal, and they're very affordable. At least they seem like they are. But when people start looking at their diet and they say, oh, it costs more to eat right, when I start eliminating all the junk in their house, suddenly they have enough money. But the perception is that the food costs more because it can go bad, right? So if you buy too many apples, they'll go bad. So what I help people do is set up a shopping list and a meal plan for the week. So if you're going to take, you know, make dinner 3 times that week and go out to eat twice, whatever it is, you buy enough food for those 3 times. You may need to shop more frequently also. So you got to make sure that you're making a plan for it, because if you do, you won't have the bad food go rotten. Right? Takes a little more prep time. But these are ways, the oranges, the super shake, the best way, the essential fats, the omega-3s, the flaxseed. These are ways you can supplement your diet with food-based nutrients. You got to start there. Because I know I'm on the road a lot. I was gone 3 weeks in a row, and then last week we had training, and this week training or events. I know it's tough out there to always eat well. But I also know when I have my stuff with me and I eat a great meal first thing in the morning or a shake, that I'm halfway there. Because if you don't eat in the morning or you eat sugar-based meals, what's going to happen by 9, 10, 11 o'clock? Yeah, you're going to be tired, right? I get more angry or moody. Can you believe that? This face would be angry? Yes. Yes, very true. No, but you don't feel well. Today I was looking around and I says, you know what? I'm not tired. I squatted yesterday morning at 5:30. My legs feel great. I slept great. Now, it's not always that way. And I said, what did I have for breakfast today? Organic eggs and oatmeal. And when I have that for breakfast or a shake, I'm good. I don't crave. My energy levels are great. I don't crash. And you feel like, okay, it's going to be a nice day, right? If you don't feel that way, we need to help you. And don't feel like you're being punished. If you feel like you're being punished, you're in the wrong place, right? You should want to make yourself feel good, productive. Doesn't mean you can't have an ice cream once in a while or go to Minio's for pizza or something like that. It just means you don't start the week with skipping Monday breakfast because you ate too much food last night and you don't feel well. So orange is a great way to supplement. The green coffee bean extract, we had this around 5 years before Dr. Oz, but we thank him for marketing it and educating people about it. But the green coffee bean extract does 3 things. It's a great antioxidant, so it cleans up a lot of debris in the body. It slows the release of carbohydrates from the gut to the bloodstream. You guys understand that process? If you get too much sugar in the blood, what happens? Sugar goes up, and then what do you do with all that sugar? Store it as fat. And even worse than storing it as fat, it gets worse. You don't burn anything in the process. Okay? And then you have that fat storage occur, and then how do you feel when it drops? I need some more, whatever that was, to get back up, right? So rather than going up and down all day, just stay balanced. So the green coffee bean extract slows the release of carbs into the bloodstream. It also gives you a thermogenic effect due to chlorogenic acid. So it actually helps your body burn fat as energy. That's the goal. How do we know most people don't burn fat? Look at them. They're storing and storing and storing and storing. They're never burning fat, and they have no energy. People that are obese have no energy. Why? They're not getting the nutrients inside the cell to burn them. How do we know that? Look at them, ask them how they feel. And most of them skip meals. Why? They're trying to lose weight. Not the way to do it. You got to change your metabolism. How long does it take to change your metabolism on our program? Any guesses? A day, a week, a month, a year? How about one meal? You can do it in one meal. Because food's information, right? It's called nutrigenomics. It's a study of how foods influence your genes. If you have nothing for breakfast, what happens? Your body needs to get sugar from somewhere, glucose, because that's what the brain runs on, right? Where does it get it from? Muscle, glycogen, stored glycogen, and muscle, right? Yeah, you're right, liver and muscle. Okay, so if you don't eat, you're breaking down hard-earned muscle for sugar. Okay? And if you eat the wrong thing, you're going to store it as sugar. So the problem is, if you don't eat, it's even worse than eating something bad. So you got to eat good food, especially in the morning. If you have a treat or a little snack or one of those things, limit to once or twice a week. Is that fair enough? You only got to go about 3 days. I mean, you can't suffer for 3 days without ice cream or a treat. And the less frequently you eat those things, what's going to happen? You're not going to like them as much. Somebody came in, she was doing really well in the program and says, you know, I started eating some of those foods again and I felt terrible. Yeah, well, that's how you felt when you came in here. So you got to change your diet, and these are easy ways to do it. And then if you wanted a few people, that's really healthy, and you're concerned with, you know, maybe, what's the first thing to go? Your brain, right? First thing to go is the memory. That's what everyone says. So this would actually help with memory, mental clarity and focus, so ADD, ADHD, circulation, skin, eyes, right? The things commonly affected by aging. So we all know, right? The exotic berries, the dark colored berries have some health properties, right? We think we know that by now. Is everyone in agreement, right? So what we did is we have 19 exotic berries in the Pro Purples. Things like pomegranate, goji, mangosteen, camu, right? These are all in there because anyone see Mona V or those type of drinks before marketed? They're generally in like a really cool looking wine bottle, right? Looks like a lot. How much you get in one of those? About a quart, 32 ounces, right? And they sell multi-level or direct marketing. You guys have seen these, right? No? Yes? Some? But they'll sell different juices and, you know, multi-level, direct marketing, that type of thing. You get 32 ounces, they sell about 60 to 70 bucks. You know, goji berries, they had mangosteen, acai, right? We've seen these before. So 32 ounces for about 70 bucks. How many ounces do you get out of one of our containers? There's 30 drinks in there, about 8 ounces, so 240 ounces. So it's almost 10 times the amount for half the price. What's that? That's in the that's in the ProColors variety pack. It'll have 8877, which is 30. 8 times 2 is 16, 7 times 2 is 14, it's 30 servings. That's if you want a variety of all of them. They come in packets. We have a mixed version too. It's called ProColors variety pack. Good question. But the normal containers have 30 servings in them. So it costs about $1 a serving. I was on the road and I just bought 2 pieces of fruit, and they're more than $1 each. So, you know, it's good value too. But we want to support brain, skin, circulation, and heart. Those are things more commonly concerned, especially with aging. It's great tasting, and like I talked about before, some of the berries that's in it make it one of the most complete powders we've seen out there. So are they cost effective? Well, if you try to do this through fruits and veggies at the grocery store, not including the extra ingredients, it costs you about $180 per container. So it's about 20%, about $30 versus $200 that you're going to pay. So they don't go bad, they're very convenient. Now, I do recommend once you open them, what are you supposed to do with it? How about using it? Right?
Refrigerate it.
I don't necessarily have to refrigerate. He's got to use it in a timely fashion, which is 30 to 60 days. If you wanted to sit around there for 6 months, I'm going to take a half a scoop once in a while. Don't waste your money, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to get hard over time. Doesn't mean you got to suck it up in a week, but they got about a 3-year shelf life on them. But if you open them, you get air in them, and then the air conditioner is off one day, or it gets unseasonably hot one day, or humid, those things will help make it hard. Okay? So also got the packets, so that's a little more convenient for some people. Plus, if you want a little more variety, you get the variety pack. And if you're not going to use it right away, buy them in the packets, because you only got to open one pack at a time rather than a container. It's similar to coffee. Now everyone does the single-serving coffees. Where you used to get a bag of coffee. That may go bad for some people, so this is more convenient. So I recommend the reds. And we have this picture. Can I borrow it? All right, we're going to play a little game, okay? Excited? She always laughs, doesn't she? Good. You know what the alternative is if they're not laughing. Okay. So all you got to do is pick one, and that's the one that's best for you. So reds is going to be overall health, and you don't eat enough fruits and veggies, or you love the flavor of the fruit punch. If that's you, you do the reds. Maybe you need eye support. Reds. Liver. Reds. I want an overall, most complete one. What do I do? Reds. Okay? The greens. If you want to clean, detoxify. I had a client, and she recommended her husband did the greens. And he says, oh, I don't need them. I don't have any problems. And after about 6 weeks he was on it, he says, can this help your bowels? He said, I didn't have any problems before, but things seem to have improved. So I think what happens is the greens is they come up subtle on some people, and you see improvement even when you might not have expected it. And of course, you need to have any health issues with your liver, your gallbladder, your colon, use the greens. Purples, aging, eyes, memory, attention, heart, skin. And then the oranges, energy, blood sugar, cravings, fat burner, mental alertness. Okay, questions on these? Yes.
I offered one of these drinks to a friend recently, and she's looking at the ingredients. She saw green coffee. I can't drink this, she said, because I get a fluttering heart if I drink caffeine. Is it the same thing, the green coffee bean?
Same thing as what?
Is it drinking a cup of coffee? Does it have an effect?
No, it actually has it has listed 13.3 milligrams on there, which is about what you'd find in a real decaf. Now, Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts don't qualify as decaf because there's too much caffeine. But an average coffee should have about 100 milligrams of caffeine. Starbucks and those type will have about 160 or 180. This has 13. Also, what can you tell her to do if she doesn't want caffeine? Well, we have the reds, greens, and purples she can try. They have 0 caffeine. Or you can get that much in the oranges. But some people I know are very sensitive, or they won't do it. You gotta look at the rest of her diet. Maybe she eats cookies or cake or pie or ice cream or smokes or drinks or, I don't know what her diet's like, but people tend to pick out 1 or 2 ingredients. But she can do the other 3. Great question, though. Anybody else? All right, you folks are great. So what we're going to do is we want to go over there and maybe get some samples to try out. How's that sound? If you've tried some, try some of the others. I'll walk over with you. And if any questions you want to ask one-on-one, you can. And the next speaker will be up in about 15 minutes. Thanks, folks.